अच्छा चलें बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। हमने सेक्शंस 12.1 और 12.2 में देखे हैं सीक्वेंसेस. वी लुक्ड एट सीक्वेंसेस, रिकर्सिव सीक्वेंसेस, sigma notation, and nth partial sums of sequences. And then we also looked at arithmetic sequences, which are, a kind of sequences, a particular kind of sequences, or sequences themselves are a particular kind of function. और geometric sequences देखे थे. तो we were in the middle of section 12.3 और अब हम बाकी का इंशाल्लाह खत्म करते हैं 12.3. अच्छा, अब हम आज देखेंगे इन्फिनिट सीरीज. तो हम लेट्स कंसीडर एक एग्जांपल ही समझ लें. एक लेट्स स्टार्ट विद एन एग्जांपल. सो से यू हैव अ केक and this circle is the cake that you are looking very eagerly forward to eating. So to begin with, initially aapna, because of the excitement, you decide you want to have half of the cake in one go. So half of the cake ye aapne slice kaati iski, and then agle din aapko you decide that that was a bit too much, so maybe I should have half of what I had the day before. So you decide you want to have half of half. So what is half of half?
1/4.
It's 1/4. ठीक है. And then उससे अगले दिन you decide कि वो भी बहुत ज्यादा था, so you want to have half of 1/4, which is 1/8. अभी अगर थोड़ा सा disproportionate बन रही है, 1/8 है, half of a quarter. And then what is half of 1/8?
1/16.
It's 1/16. And then half of 1/16 is, right, this
1/32.
slither here, that's 1/32. ठीक है. तो अब हमारे पास ये जो स्लाइसेस हैं, इनको अगर हम रिप्रेजेंट करें, और जो होल है, the cake itself, that's one whole. तो the sum of the slices makes the one whole cake, makes the whole cake. अच्छा, अब ये डॉट 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 क्या कहता है? It represents the fact that this is a process that keeps on going, that keeps on going on. Basically, it's an unending process. आप 1/32 को आधा करें तो you'll get 1/64, and so on and so forth. अब इस तरह से will you ever be able to complete the cake?
No.
Finish eating the cake basically? नहीं, क्योंकि no matter how many slices you take, कोई छोटी सी, I mean, the more the number of slices you take, the smaller this slither becomes, but you'll have a tiny slither. उसको छोटा होता जाएगा as you keep on taking slices of the cake. लेकिन ये total one, अगर if it doesn't actually ever become one, will it ever exceed one?
No.
Do you all see why? आप जितने मर्जी slices add कर ले, one से ज़्यादा, this sum here, that if I were to write this in sigma notation, ये क्या होगा?
Less than 1.
It'll always be less, I mean, okay, मैं उसको थोड़ा सा question को थोड़ा सा उल्टा किया था. Will it ever exceed 1? And the answer is no, it will never become greater than 1. अच्छा, अब मेरा सवाल ये कि सिग्मा नोटेशन में इनको लिखना हो, इस एडिशन, इस सम को लिखना हो, दैट्स ऑन द राइट हैंड साइड, तो व्हाट कैन वी डू? दिस अनएंडिंग सम, तो इसको ऐसे. अच्छा, मुझे ये देख के बताए, वैसे ऐसा में कल वी हैड अ हाइब्रिड क्लास, so but not too many students showed up in class, but it was a hassle क्योंकि वो set up करके and then online अच्छा, it wasn't easy for the students who had joined online to understand what was going on in class, so we decided to have this class online today. So I actually had students help me do this. If you can kindly मतलब जल्दी जवाब दे देंगे तो it's very difficult to tell
Can we
online
add
whether.
infinity symbol?
जी,
Can we add infinity symbol यहाँ पे?
we can, लेकिन उससे पहले what is the term representation कैसे करें? What are the terms that are being added to each other?
हम इसको सिग्मा 1 लिख सकते हैं. सिग्मा 1 इज इक्वल टू आगे राइट हैंड साइड.
नहीं, सिग्मा 1 का मतलब होता है 1 + 1 + 1 ओवर अ रेंज. आप इंडेक्स वेरिएबल डालेंगे तो वो तो एक कांस्टेंट एरर हो रहा है. आपके पास क्या आ रहा है? यू हैव the sum of fractions of the form 1 divided by 2 to the power something. ये क्या है? This is 2 to the power 1 in the denominator. This is 2 squared. This is 2 cubed. This is 2 to the power 4. This is 2 to the power 5. So the term, जो constant है, it's the numerator in each of these terms. It's 1. The numerator is 1 in all of these expressions. So you have 1 divided by, अब मैं नीचे क्या लिखूं? In the denominator?
2
2
over
power
n.
n.
2 to the power n.
2 to the power n ले लें. अगर आपने n को बनाना है, अपना इंडेक्स वेरिएबल या i ले लें, k ले लें, j ले लें. मैंने i लिखा है और इंडेक्स वेरिएबल i है. i का रेंज ऑफ वैल्यूज क्या होगा?
Infinity.
1 to infinity.
Yes, as I varies from 1 to infinity. For those of you who weren't sure about this, your infinity, it's a symbol, it's not a number. It's just a representation of a process that doesn't end. So what the symbol infinity means is that I will assume values 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on and so forth. So the process won't end. It's an infinite process. So you have to keep in mind that infinity is only a symbol, it's not a number. So this is what, so sigma notation mein ye aa gaya. Now, this is a specific example of what we call an infinite geometric series. In general, this was just to get you started. So in general, an expression of the form or a sum of the form sigma a sub k, as k varies from 1 to infinity. ये compact form है. The sum itself is a sub 1, a plus a2 plus a3, and plus so on and so forth. This is the expression. This is a sum, and इस तरह के sum को जिसके individual terms जो हैं, they're terms of a sequence, इसको हम infinite series कहते हैं. So these are terms of a sequence right here, and they're being added to each other. The process is unending, so it's infinite. So this is what an infinite series looks like right here. Acha, in the example that we were considering, I'll do this in red now. ये मुझे बताएं कि S1 क्या है? The partial, we'll look at partial sums. What is the first sum? Partial sum. S1 is 1 by 2. And S2 is 1 by 2 plus 1 by 4, which is
3/4.
ठीक है, S3 is 1/2 plus 1/2 plus 1/4 plus 1/8, which is
7/8.
it's 7/8. And then S4 इसी तरह आता है 16 and then 15/16. So if you look at this pattern, so can you tell me what the nth partial sum will be of this infinite series? The specific example we were looking at, the cake wali example. What is the nth partial sum?
नीचे 2 का स्क्वायर आता रहेगा, so 2n,
ठीक है.
and
Denominator
ऊपर
में
2s minus 1.
exactly. Thank you. It's 2n minus 1 divided by 2 to the power n. अच्छा. अच्छा, अब what happens? ये तो है nth partial sum. So n की कोई particular value होगी तो we'll get this, right? What happens in the case that when n tends to infinity? यानी कि इसको आप rewrite कर सकते हैं. थोड़ा सा please bear with me for a minute. ये थोड़ा सा समझाने में time लग जाता है. This is basically, if you rewrite this, is 1 minus 1/2 to the power n. अब n की value अगर increase करे, and if it continues increasing, so we say that as n tends to infinity, so as n tends to infinity, what happens to 1/2 to the power n?
So it
What?
keeps increasing.
Achha, 2 to the power n keeps on increasing. And if you take the reciprocal of a very large number, if you divide 1 by a very large number, what is the answer?
The
Close
answer
to?
A very small number,
smaller.
closer to
It-
1.
It close to
Closer to 0.
0.
0. So as n tends to infinity, 1/2 to the power n tends to the number 0. Tends to का मतलब ये है कि you can actually never, this expression will actually never become 0. आप जितना मर्जी बड़ा number ले लें, कोई छोटा, you'll get a tiny number that's very close to 0. जितना मर्जी आपने close करना है उसको 0 के करीब number मिल जाएगा आपको, depending on how large n is. लेकिन it will never be 0. So what this is basically is that this expression tends to 0. So as n tends to infinity, or as n goes to infinity, the number 1/2 to the power n tends to 0. तो फिर इसका क्या मतलब है? What can we say about S sub n in this particular example? S sub n, the nth partial sum, will tend to what number? ये इधर है इसकी expression.
-300 minus 1.
कौन सा?
Will it reach
मैं
infinity?
नीचे 2 की पावर 300 आ जाएगी.
And 300 किधर है बेटा?
The n 300. That's what you're asking, right?
नहीं. There's no, अच्छा, sorry, I don't know what you heard. लेकिन there's no 300 in the picture right now.
Okay. Yes, sorry. The infinity symbol looked like 300.
Acha.
I get it.
So as n tends to infinity or becomes or increases without bound, that's one way of describing it. Or if it increases arbitrarily, so what happens to the expression 1 minus 1/2 to the power n?
The
So-
denominator comes closer to 0 and the total sum would get closer to infinity, I think.
Acha, let me help you here. ये जो part है, this will tend to 0.
Okay, yeah, got it.
So Sn will tend to the number 1 minus 0, which is just 1. ठीक है? Is this clear?
Yes.
1 as n tends to infinity, Sn tends to 1 minus 0 क्योंकि 1 by 2 the power n tends to 0 and which is just 1 basically. So this is why as n tends to infinity in this particular example the
Yes,
nth
but this
partial
is an
sum.
asymptote, right? So it can never reach the actual zero part. So why are we saying Sn will be 1?
More nahi, Sn will not assume the value 1. That's a very valid observation. That's why I put this arrow here and I keep on saying that the Sn will tend to 1, will become arbitrarily close to 1, or the limit will be 1. But that doesn't mean that it will actually ever become 1. It won't actually. समझ आइए? That's why I put an arrow, not an equal sign here.
Okay.
मैम आपसे एक ये बात पूछनी थी, हमने स्टार्ट पे एग्जांपल ली थी कि इन्फिनिटी को हम डिवाइड किए जाते हैं तो वो मतलब इन्फिनिट चलता रहता है, लेकिन तो कभी भी फिर वो जिस पॉइंट से स्टार्ट किया कभी उसके बराबर तो नहीं होगा। मतलब जैसे हमने एक की एग्जांपल ही ली थी, तो अगर हम डिवाइड किए जाते हैं, अगर सबको सम भी कर लें तो वो कभी एक के बराबर तो नहीं होगा ना।
नहीं होगा।
सही।
1
तो फिर हम इसके इक्वल टू में फिर क्या लिखा करें? तो अगर वो 1 के भी बराबर ही नहीं होगा, वो तो चीज कभी हम रीच ही नहीं कर पा रहे जो हम जहाँ से हमने स्टार्ट किया था।
नहीं तो हम इक्वल टू का साइन नहीं डाल रहे, ये अभी दैट्स एग्जैक्टली व्हाट आई जस्ट सेड। इधर मैंने Sn equals 1 नहीं लिखा।
नहीं, इसकी बात नहीं करी जो हमने स्टार्ट पे किया था, जब हमने सिग्मा की बात कर रहे थे तब आप कह रही थी कि हम सिग्मा की दूसरी साइड पे क्या लिखें।
अभी मैंने इसकी वैल्यू कोई नहीं लिखी थी इधर, देखें राइट हियर, दिस इज जस्ट सिग्मा नोटेशन फॉर दिस सम। ये मैंने इक्वल टू 1 नहीं डाला हुआ इधर, ये सिर्फ मैंने
मतलब
इस सम को सिग्मा नोटेशन में लेफ्ट हैंड साइड पे लिखा है। मैंने इसको ये नहीं कहा कि दिस इज इक्वल टू 1।
ठीक है।
ठीक है।
हम्म,
अब इस सम को बेसिकली अब हमने ये कहा है कि ये जो सम है ना, दिस टेंड्स टू tends to 1 as k tends to infinity. This is what we said right now. ठीक है, ये तो सिर्फ सम है। This is just 1 by 2 plus 1 by 4 plus 1 by 8 and so on. Or basically this is Sn as n tends to infinity. This sum and these two tend to 1. They don't assume the value 1. ये limit है ना basically. What we're trying to do is define what it means for can you please give me 1 minute please? Hafiz. Acha, sorry. So what we're trying to do here is, again, if we wait a minute, मैं अभी इस definition पे आ रही हूँ। तो ये जो हमने कहा है ना, if there's a number, are you all listening?
Yes.
Acha,
Yes.
so if there's a number such that the nth partial sum tends to that number as n tends to infinity, then we say that the infinite series is convergent and we can assign a value to the infinite sum. So we assign that value to the infinite sum. अब वो infinite sum actually assume नहीं करती, but you can मतलब it can become as close to the number as you want it to be just by taking n large enough. तो आप और terms डाल दें sum में, तो इस एग्जांपल में, फॉर एग्जांपल ये केक वाली एग्जांपल में, इसमें आप और टर्म्स डालेंगे तो Sn will become closer to 1. अगर आप n equals say 1000 लेते हैं और आप समझ रहे हैं कि the sum isn't as close to 1 as you want it to be, for example, ये बात हो रही है सिर्फ, then you can take n to be 1,000,000 say, तो Sn will in that case even become even closer to 1. लेकिन हम जब infinitely many terms लेते हैं तो if the series tends towards a number, a finite number, in this case that number is 1 in this specific example, then we assign that number to the sum, we make it the value of the sum as n tends to infinity. तो हमने ये कहा, basically what this means is, मैं दोबारा कह देती हूँ, it's a little difficult to explain, लेकिन आप सुने और फिर मुझे बताएं अगर आपको समझ में नहीं आता. तो basically हमने ये तो part आपको समझ में आ गया. As n tends to infinity, the nth partial sum tends to the number 1. And since the nth partial sum actually does tend to a finite number and doesn't explode, तो हम कह सकते हैं कि we assign this number 1 to Sn as n tends to infinity. तो अब हम ये तो मैंने इधर लिख दिया आपको कि as n tends to infinity, Sn tends to 1. तो आप इसको इस तरह भी लिख सकते हैं s infinity. मैंने पिछली क्लास में आपके शोएब भाई बैठे थे, उन्होंने कहा था कि s infinity लिख लेते हैं. आपकी बुक में खाली s लिखा हुआ है. तो either way, s, you can assign the value 1 to s. And what is s? इसको s infinity भी कह दें आप. S infinity is this sum. यहाँ पर n के साथ कर लें, doesn't matter. ठीक है. और अगर finite value assume कर रहा हो, if Sn tends to a finite number, we say that the series is convergent. Convergent. This is a definition of convergence. And if it doesn't, if Sn explodes or becomes arbitrarily large or arbitrarily small, so otherwise the series is divergent. Now, is this clear to everyone?
Could you explain what convergent means one more time?
Basically, इस example में हमने जो cake वाली example देखी है, this is an example of a convergent series. Convergent इसलिए है क्योंकि as n tends to infinity, the nth partial sum s sub n tends to a finite number. In this case, that number is 1. When this happens, in general, when this happens that the nth partial sum tends to some number, कोई भी number होगा तो finite number है basically. So as n tends to infinity, we say that the series is convergent. We assign that number to the term s या s infinity. मतलब उसकी value हम series को वो value दे देते हैं, the infinite series. हम उसकी value वो ही assign कर देते हैं उसको. और one second. And that's what convergence is. अगर आपके पास Sn जो है वो इधर तो 1 को tend कर रहा था, it could so happen that it doesn't tend, it could so happen that the nth partial sum doesn't tend to any number, explode कर जाता है, तो फिर आपके पास divergent series होगी.
Miss, what do you mean कि explode कर जाता है?
It's kind of like saying आप इस सीरीज को कंसिडर कर लें एज एन एग्जांपल. This is just the series, well, the sequence, corresponding sequence is a sequence of natural numbers. अच्छा, अब इसको देखें, इसका Sn क्या है? Nth partial sum. It's 1 plus 2 plus n, और ये हमने देखा था, this comes out to be n into n plus 1 divided by 2. अब क्या होता है? This is, अगर आप इसको expand कर लें, n squared by 2 plus n by 2. ठीक है? अब as
Yes.
n tends to infinity क्या होता है? Sn tends to, ये भी explode कर रहा है, n squared भी explode कर रहा है. The greater the value of n, the larger the value of n or n squared. तो there's, जैसे जैसे n की वैल्यू बढ़ती जा रही है, Sn की वैल्यू भी बढ़ती चली जा रही है. So what we say is that as n tends to infinity, Sn becomes arbitrarily large or increases without bound. तो अगर आपको ये समझ में आ रही है, तो this also tends to infinity.
Okay. Yeah, I understand.
So in this case, this series is divergent. तो अच्छा, ये चलें, ये हो गया. अब हम इनफिनिट ज्योमेट्रिक सीरीज देखते हैं जी.
मैम बेसिकली डाइवर्जेंट के अंदर आपकी सम की वैल्यू बहुत लार्ज होती जाती है और कन्वर्जेंट के अंदर वो उतनी स्मॉल होती जाती है, राइट?
हाँ हाँ जी, बेसिकली द आइडिया इज करेक्ट. कन्वर्जेंट डाइवर्जेंट में ये होता है कि सम की वैल्यू बढ़ती चली जाती है, और मतलब देयर इज नो स्टॉप टू इट. सो एज n increases, correspondingly the sum also either increases, चलता बढ़ता जाता है, या नेगेटिव सेंस में बढ़ता जाता है. तो so either way, if this were plus or minus infinity, either way this would have been divergent. ठीक है? इस केस में तो है प्लस इंफिनिटी, लेकिन माइनस इंफिनिटी भी होता तो सीरीज वुड हैव बीन डाइवर्जेंट. और एज n टेंड्स टू इंफिनिटी, अगर आपका सम जो है, it becomes closer and closer to some number. It could be any number. Closer and closer to 1 भी हो सकता था, closer and closer to 25 भी हो सकता था, minus 100 भी हो सकता था. But as long as the sum becomes arbitrarily close to some single number, तो आपका जो सीरीज है वो कन्वर्जेंट होता है. हमने एक एग्जांपल में 1 देखी है, the limit was 1. We'll look at a couple of other examples now. उससे आपको थोड़ी सी और clarification हो जाएगी. ठीक है? तो the next topic is in इसी में section 12.3 में infinite geometric series. ठीक है, 1 second. अच्छा, so now let's look at geometric series. I'm sorry about the pauses. ये थोड़ा सा ना, because I'm substituting. So I have kids to send to school. तो वो अच्छा, तो infinite geometric series. अब this is a series of the form. क्या terms होती हैं geometric sequence की? Geometric sequence अगर पहला term A हो तो फिर बाकी क्या होते हैं? Are you guys here? Or have you forgotten what a geometric sequence looks like? अच्छा, चलें. The first term is A, the second term is AR, the third is AR squared, and then AR cubed, and so on. And since this is a series, an infinite one, you have these terms being added to one another, and the process is unending. इसको sigma notation में लिखें तो it's just AR to the power K k की k इंडेक्स वेरिएबल है, इसकी आउटपुट वैल्यू, इसकी रेंज ऑफ वैल्यूज क्या होगा, जल्दी से मुझे बताए कोई।
Infinity?
अच्छा, वेयर डज इट बिगिन फ्रॉम?
1.
1,
अच्छा,
Zero.
अगर r
0.
a 0, थैंक
0.
यू, 0, ठीक है। अच्छा, अब और इसके लिए हमने देखा था, ये डिराइव किया था एक्सप्रेशन हमने फॉर द nth पार्शियल सम, a times 1 minus r to the power n divided by 1 minus r, where r, the condition was that r wasn't 1, ठीक है, और बेसिकली ये थी कंडीशन।
Ma'am, is A being multiplied to this expression of R?
G, it's multiplication. This, no, this is just a condition here. लेकिन you know the condition is that R is not 1. तो मैंने मिटा दिया। अब ये था for a geometric sequence. This was the nth partial sum for a geometric sequence, जो कि इधर भी nth partial sum वही होगा, same thing, क्योंकि this is an infinite geometric series. अब अच्छा, अब हम consider करते हैं, let's consider the case the absolute value of r is less than 1. ठीक है, अब इस केस में मुझे बताएं r to the power n को क्या होगा। जब आपको समझ में ना आ रहा हो तो आप प्लीज कोई, you can think of a specific number and use it to see what happens to r to the power n as n tends to infinity. अच्छा, r को आप क्या वैल्यू लेना चाह रहे हैं? अभी हमने देखा था इस एग्जांपल में r क्या था? This was actually an infinite geometric series because a अगर आप 1/2 लें यहाँ पे तो r क्या होना था इधर? Can somebody please tell me? वन बाई टू को किस चीज से मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे तो 1/4 आएगा?
One by two.
जी, so the common ratio is 1/2 because हर term को you can obtain every term by multiplying the preceding term by 1/2. तो for example अगर आपका r 1/2 है, so then what does that say about the absolute value of r? It's less than 1 because 1/2 is less than 1. Absolute value इसलिए क्योंकि for some particular example r equals से आप minus भी 1/2 भी हो सकता था। तो in this case what happens when n becomes arbitrarily large? And as n tends to infinity, one by two n tends to what number? ये हम कर चुके हैं ना, ये तो आपको खुद कर लेना
Zero.
चाहिए था, 0. So this is what we're saying. So in the case that the absolute value of r is less than 1, as n tends to infinity, the term r to the power n will tend to what number? When you have a number that's less than 1, नहीं,
Zero.
ये 0, 0.
Zero.
ये हमने अभी एक specific example करके देखी है. In general, whenever you have a number that's less than 1 and you multiply that number by itself, the output will be a number that's less than the original number itself. 1/3 squared लें तो 1/9 आता है. 1/9 is less than 1/3. 1/3 even something like 4/5. 4/5 is closer to 1 than 1/3 is. And 4/5 square करें तो क्या आता है? 16/25, which is less than 4/5. तो जैसे जैसे आप इनको so whenever you multiply a number by a number that's less than 1, तो आपके पास छोटा नंबर आता है पहले से, and if the original number is less than 1 तो और भी छोटा होता जाता है. मतलब I mean, what I'm trying to say is that for a number that's less than 1, if you keep on multiplying that number by itself, you'll get a smaller and smaller number that becomes arbitrarily close to 0. ठीक है? तो since Rn tends to 0, ये इधर क्या होता है? This, so as n tends to infinity, you can replace Sn by कौन से number को, what number does this sum tend to? A times 1 minus 0 upon 1 minus R, which is just A upon A times 1 divided by 1 minus R. So this is the expression we have. As n tends to infinity, Sn tends to A by 1 minus R. So the series, an infinite geometric series with absolute value of R less than 1, which is R is the common ratio. In that case, the infinite geometric series will be convergent and will have sum, और इसको इस तरह से भी लिख सकते हैं, मैं और लिख के करती हूँ, will have sum S infinity or S. बुक में S इस्तेमाल होता है, आपका S infinity भी valid है, and will have sum A divided by 1 minus R. These are equivalent statements, and this is the condition for an infinite geometric series to be convergent. And if this holds true, if this condition holds true, then this is the sum. Or well, basically the nth partial sum tends to this number. And we can say the sum, we can assign this value to the sum. Is this clear? अब हम examples करते हैं. Example 6 from your book. Determine if the infinite geometric series converges or diverges. If it converges, find its sum. तो पहली example है 2 plus 2 by 5 plus 2 by 25 plus 2 by 125 and so on. अच्छा, वैसे तो हमें given है example वो statement में कि this is an infinite geometric series. Lekin you should be able to recognize that fact for yourselves. So to begin with, you know that the first term A is 2. And you can obtain each subsequent term by multiplying first 1 by 5, and then is 1 by 5 se multiply kare, so you can get each subsequent term if you continue multiplying. You can see that, so maine aapko zubani bata diya. What is A?
Two.
2, thank you. What is R?
1 by 5.
It's 1 by 5. 2 times 1 by 5 is 2 by 5, and then 2 by 5 times 1 by 5 is 2 by 25, and so on, so forth. Acha. So condition kya hai? So the question is to determine whether this infinite geometric series is convergent or divergent. So for this infinite geometric series to be convergent, what is the condition that needs to be met?
Less than 1 convergent.
G,
Otherwise
exactly.
divergent.
If the absolute value of the common ratio which is represented or denoted by R, is less than 1, then we say that the series is convergent. So what is R is a positive number, so the absolute value will be R itself. And we know that 1 by 5 is less than 1. So R is less than 1. So this means that the series is convergent. Now, since it's convergent, we need to find its sum. And the sum is the value that the nth partial sum tends to when n tends to infinity. And we've already derived an expression for that. So we know that the sum is given by a divided by 1 minus r. And this is 2 divided by 1 minus 1 by 5, which is 2 divided by 4 by 5. And that's 2 multiplied by 5 by 4. So it's 10 by 4, which is 5 by 2. Okay? So that was one example. The other example is 1 plus 7 by 5 plus 7 by 5 squared plus 7 by 5 cubed and so on. So here, what is R? R is 7 by 5. That's the common ratio. And what is the absolute value of R? The absolute value of R. Can you please hold on a second? Okay, so अब आपको 1 मिनट तो था सोचने का. Can somebody please answer this? मतलब मैं खुद तो करती चली जाऊंगी. It's not I can never tell whether you're understanding or not, or if you're following or not. तो मुझे please बता दें जवाब. What is R?
Seven by 5.
Gee, thank you. R is 7 by 5. And what is the absolute value of R? Is it less than 1? Is R less than 1?
Greater than.
ये क्वेश्चन है कन्वर्जेंस डाइवर्जेंस के लिए. ये देखना है. R in this case is 7 by 5 and the absolute value, which is just 7 by 5 itself, is greater than 1. So the series is divergent and इसका कोई sum exist नहीं करेगा. फिर मतलब इसका sum निकालना doesn't make sense. ठीक है ना? And we're done for this example. अच्छा, अगली example है example 7 of section 12.3. Find the fraction that represents the rational number 2.351. तो मैं ये लिख देती हूँ. अच्छा, अब इसकी स्पेशल बात ये है कि this is a recurring decimal fraction. Recurring portion के ऊपर ये bar लगा हुआ है. So this is basically the decimal fraction 2.351, 51, 51 and so on. अब इसको अगर मैं लिखूं, इधर इक्वल डाल के अगली लाइन में इसी को कंटिन्यू कर रही हूँ. सो दिस कैन बी रिटन एज, अगर मैं शुरू का पोर्शन लिख लूँ 2.3, तो फिर मैं आगे क्या लिखूंगी? व्हाट कम्स नेक्स्ट? दिस इज एडिशन.
Plus 0.05151.
एक्सीलेंट. ठीक है, दिस इज व्हाट कम्स नेक्स्ट. अब मैं अगला 5 1 डालना हो तो मैं 2 और जीरोस डालूंगी आफ्टर द डेसिमल पॉइंट, तो ये आएगा. ठीक है, so on and so forth. 2 और zeros डालेंगे and then you get the next 5 1, etc. Now if you ignore this part for a moment, चलो मैं अभी कंटिन्यू करती हूँ, लिखती हूँ. This is 2.3 plus 51 in proper fraction form. ये क्या होगा? Divided by क्या होगा?
100.
1000.
1000.
ठीक है, and then 51 divided by 1 3 zeros 5 zeros, ऐसे 100,000. ठीक है, and then 51 divided by, अब आपके पास कितने से मैं मल्टीप्लाई कर रही हूँ हर टर्म को?
100.
100, हाँ, in the 1 by 100. So this is 10 times 100, and this is 1000 जो कि पिछला है, in times 100, and this is 100,000 10 to the power 5 times 100, etc. and so on and so forth. तो अब अगर हम इसको इग्नोर करें, you actually have right here an infinite geometric series with r equal to what is r in this case? So let's consider this infinite geometric series. This infinite geometric series here. Let's consider this. इसमें a क्या है? First term क्या है? फिर हम चले सिग्मा नोटेशन में लिख लेते हैं. अच्छा, ये इतना लंबा काम नहीं करती था, दिस माइट बी कंफ्यूजिंग. अच्छा, पहले तो मुझे ये बता दें, मैं इसको सीधा डायरेक्ट लिखती हूँ. अच्छा, अब मुझे बताएं, इसको देख के can you all tell that this is an infinite geometric series that goes on in this direction? And if this is an infinite geometric series, is this convergent?
I think yes, it is.
Acha, how so? पहले you need to know what r is. R equals 1 by 100. ठीक है? And r is less than 1. So this series is convergent and we can assign it a value, whether the sum has a value, and s infinity or s equals a divided by 1 minus r, which is a. What is a here?
Is it 2.3? Or do we not consider 2.3?
No, we're not looking at 2.3 is not a part of this infinite geometric series.
Okay.
51.
51 by 1000 divided by 1 minus r, which is 1 minus 1 by 100. So this is 51 by 1000 into 99. Sorry, this is 100 by 99. ठीक है, अब इसको आप फर्दर सिंप्लीफाई करें तो ये आपके पास आ जाता है 51 by 990. और अब आपके पास, but we're not done. So we have the sum of the infinite geometric series, but the question originally was to find a fraction that represents this entire rational number. And what part of the rational number have we not considered yet?
2.3.
It's 2.3. So if I were to write the given decimal fraction again, अब इसको हमने fraction, proper fraction या किसी fraction के form में लिखना है, तो मैं 23 by 10, which is 2.3, plus 51 by 990, which is the sum of the infinite geometric series, and the sum that we just found. अब इसको हम ऐड करेंगे तो फिर आपके पास वो फ्रैक्शन आएगा जो रिप्रेजेंट करता है 2.351 को, and this comes out to be 2328 by 990. It can be further simplified, लेकिन for the time being मैं इधर ही रुक रही हूँ. Further simplified 388 divided by 164. Now is this process clear to everyone? हमने क्या किया? We wrote the given decimal fraction as a sum of 2.3, and then जो remaining recurring decimal fraction का part था उसको हमने अलग लिखा. That part came out to be an infinite geometric series. It was convergent, so we could assign it a value. उस sum की value हमने find कर ली, and then we added it back to the initial 2.3 to get the fraction that we were looking for. Fraction, the representation in terms of a fraction. Is this clear to everyone? अच्छा, अब जो एक चीज मैं point out करना चाह रही थी वो ये थी कि you've done something similar before, not the exact, the process was not similar, but you were asked to, in chapters 1 or 2, उनमें से एक chapter में, there was an alternate method to express a decimal fraction, a recurring decimal fraction, this repeating जो होता है, in the form of a fraction. जी?
Yeah, I was gonna say that it was like something x minus 100x, and then you multiplied both sides, right? Yeah.
जी जी, तो let's do that really quickly. एक दो steps की बात है, इसी को ले लेते हैं. अगर आपके पास 2.351 है recurring, और इसको आप x कह दें, x equals 2.351. तो अगर आप 1000x लिखें तो आपके पास क्या आएगा? 2351.5151 and so on. और अगर आप 10x लें तो you'll have 23.5151 and so on. अब इसको subtract कर लें आप तो क्या आएगा? इधर left hand side पे 990x equals, and the decimal fraction part cancels out. You have zeros on this side, and here you get, when you subtract 23 from 2351, you get 2328. So you can ignore the zeros, and then you have x equals 2328 divided by 990, which is exactly what we found using the infinite geometric series method. तो ये मैंने सिर्फ relate करना था. So you've done this in two different ways. फिर आपके पास एक और चीज़ थी जो मैं मेंशन करना चाह रही थी, ये जो हमने इन्फिनिट ज्योमेट्रिक सीरीज की वैल्यू निकाली थी, सम निकाला था in the case that the series was convergent. आप एक और काम कर सकते हैं. Let's assume this is again just an alternate method. Let's assume that r is less than 1. The absolute value of r is less than 1. Then और फिर हम sum को लिख लें s of the infinite geometric series और हम consider ये कर रहे हैं a plus ar plus ar squared plus ar cubed and so on. Then the sum is a plus ar squared plus ar cubed and so on. And इसको अगर मैं इस तरह लिखूं a और फिर इधर मैं r को कॉमन ले लूं तो फिर ar becomes a plus ar squared and so on. इसको ये क्या चीज है इधर, ये what is this part? It's exactly this. तो मैं इसकी जगह क्या लिख सकती हूँ, s लिख सकती हूँ. So you have s equals a plus rs or s minus rs equals a. So s equals a divided by 1 minus r. So this is just an alternate method to arrive at the same expression we derived for s previously. उसमें हमने limits किए थे as n tends to infinity और फिर देखा था rn tends to 0 in the case that the absolute value of r is less than 1. और इधर हमने सिर्फ rewrite किया, हमने we started with the assumption that the series was convergent. ठीक है? So we're done with 12.3 now. We're going to skip 12.4 for the time being, and we're going to 12.5, which is the principle of mathematical induction. You can ask me questions if you have any questions. Go ahead.
Miss, can you scroll up थोड़ा सा ऊपर मैं लिख रहा था.
जी जी. अच्छा ये this is primarily from your book, इसलिए आप फिक्र ना किया करें, लेकिन आप
Miss,
आप
can
लोग
you explain this
जी
again?
जी
Can you explain this again?
this part here.
Yes.
ये क्या हुआ है? Oh no. अच्छा खैर अब
Miss, undo कर दें.
हाँ जी
Undo.
हो गया okay. So yes, इधर देखो देखिए हमने एक we've already derived this expression right here, this expression, right? But this is an alternate method. जो पहला मेथड हमने किया, हमने nth partial sum का एक्सप्रेशन लिया, उसमें हमने उस लिमिट को देखा as n tends to infinity. तो हमने देखा for the condition for when the absolute value of r is less than 1 and n tends to infinity, r to the power n will tend to 0. So in that case, the series is we say that in that case the series is convergent और उसके जो value आता था वो s equals a divided by 1 minus r निकाल लिया because rn tends to 0 in that case. तो उसी चीज को derive करने का एक alternate method is written in your book. It's in the column, left hand side column में लिखा हुआ है वैसे ही. तो ये I just wanted to bring it to your notice. It's not extremely important. We're considering an infinite geometric series right here, and we start with the assumption that r is less than 1 so that the series is convergent. तो उसमें in that case हम इस sum को s लिख देते हैं और ये सिर्फ algebraic manipulation है. Basically you have s equals this sum here and then a के बाद आप बाकी terms में r चूंकि common है, you have the common ratio, you can वो जो क्या है क्या property of distributive property of multiplication over addition, you can take R out factorization में common ले लें, and then inside the brackets you have a plus ar squared, and this is basically just s itself. दोबारा ऐसे ही आ जाता है यहाँ पे within brackets. तो आपने सिर्फ उसका नाम मतलब you replace the sum by s, and then you have s equals a plus rs, and then ये तो equation solve की है, s minus rs equals a. Take s common, you're left with 1 minus r, divide both sides by 1 minus r, and you have s equals a divided by 1 minus r. So it's the same expression, an alternate method. Nothing very important. Just wanted to bring it to your notice. ठीक है? अब हम
Yes.
principle of mathematical induction करेंगे, और ये जो है इसको मैं आपको ना पहले साथ लिखूंगी, साथ एग्जाम्पल करूंगी. एक ही एग्जाम्पल दूसरे सेक्शन को भी करा सकी थी, वी रन आउट ऑफ टाइम. आज आपके साथ भी वो एक एग्जाम्पल करती हूँ. So this is a method of proof that's used to prove a statement that involves the set of natural numbers. तो आपने prove करना हो कि, for example, the sum of the first n natural numbers is n into n plus 1 divided by 2. तो एक तो आपके पास arithmetic sequence वाला तरीका है जो कि हम अभी किया है पिछले दिनों में, और आज भी मैंने उसका जिक्र किया था. और अब एक तरीका ये है कि यूज द प्रिंसिपल ऑफ मैथमेटिकल इंडक्शन. तो उसको अब इसका स्टेटमेंट ये है, फॉर ईच natural number n, let P of n be a statement depending on n. तो अब हमारे पास n है जो कि represent कर रहा है, n is a natural number, and P of n is a statement that depends on the natural number n. So say, for example, let P of n, this is an example, ये मैं लिख देती हूँ इधर. Let P of n be the statement that the sum of the first n natural numbers is n into n plus 1 divided by 2. ठीक है? अब मुझे बताएं कि P of 10 क्या होगा? So n की जगह आपके पास n basically इस केस में when I want you to express the statement P of 10, so we consider the natural number 10. P of 10 is the statement basically that the sum of the first 10 natural numbers is 10 into 10 plus 1, which is 11 divided by 2. ठीक है? That's the P of 10. P of 10 is the statement that the sum of the first 10 natural numbers is 10 into 11 divided by 2. अच्छा, अब P of, अच्छा, ये हमने एक specific example consider किया. Another statement could have been, अगर कोई और example हम कर रहे होते, specific example, P of n could have been the sum of the first n odd numbers is n squared, जो कि हमने prove किया था पहले geometric वो arithmetic sequence से. तो it could be कुछ भी और हो सकता है. It can be any kind of statement that involves the natural numbers. तो अगर आपके पास इस तरह की कोई statement है, then if the first condition is that P of 1 is true, if this holds true, इधर P of 1 क्या है? चलो मैं लिख देती हूँ एक दफा पहले, and another, साथ दो चीजें होती हैं. P of k plus 1 is true whenever P of k is true. चलिए मैं रीराइट करती हूँ. If P of 1 is true and P of k plus 1 is true whenever P of k is true, then P of n is true for all natural numbers. अच्छा, तो ये मैंने आपको बताया था कि principle of mathematical induction, it's a method of proof that's used to prove any particular given statement about that depends on the set of natural numbers or natural numbers. तो उसमें हम करते क्या हैं कि हम उस statement को एक नाम दे देते हैं, वो नाम P of n है. So we denote the statement by P of n, and we say that if two conditions are met, these two conditions are one, that P of 1 is true. तो आप P of 1 find करते हैं and you confirm or verify that it's true. And the other condition that you check is that you assume, आप assume कर लेते हैं कि P of k is true. और उस assumption को इस्तेमाल करते हुए आपने check करना है कि P of k plus 1 is true or not. So if it's the case that whenever P of k is true, that given P of k is true, it is also true that P of k plus 1 holds, then we say that the statement is true for any natural number n. Or it works basically इस तरह से कि अगर, अच्छा चलिए फिर मैं एग्जांपल करती हूँ, फिर मैं थोड़ा सा डिस्कस कर लेती हूँ. अब हमने स्टेटमेंट तो हमने चुन लिया है और उसको हमने डिनोट कर लिया P of n से. अब हमने कंडीशन A चेक करनी है, हमने वेरीफाई करना है, is P of ये है statement, is P of 1 true? This is what we're checking. What is P of 1? P of 1 is the statement that the sum of the first natural number equals 1 into 1 plus 1 divided by 2. So is it true that sum of the first natural number is just 1 itself? Is it true? इसलिए मैं question mark डाल रही हूँ क्योंकि this is what we need to show. Is it true that this equals 1 into 1 plus 1 divided by 2? So right hand side क्या है आपका? It's just 1 itself. So this is true. P of 1 is true. It's trivially true. Trivially, ये आप लोग नजर आ रहा है कि it's true. ठीक है? So what is the second condition? We assume. अब second condition में ये part है कि हमने इसको given लेना है. And we want to show that P of k plus 1 is true. Of P of k क्या है? Can somebody please tell me what P of k is? What is the statement P of k? कोई भी नहीं? आप लोगों को बिल्कुल समझ नहीं आ रही?
Miss, I don't understand it. Trivially क्या मतलब है?
You don't need to, basically it's obvious. लेकिन वो अब it's pretty obvious ना कि 1 equals 1 into 1 plus 1 divided by 2. ना भी लिखेंगे कोई ऐसी बात नहीं है. हाँ.
P1 true, तो हमने ये नहीं लिखा गया is P1 is equals to 1 true. तो like ये तो इसमें क्वेश्चन क्या है? इसमें बस ये उसने बताया कि P1 की वैल्यू ट्रू है कि नहीं, तो what do you mean true के true है कि false है?
False अगर ये होता कि अगर this left hand side were not equal to the right hand side.
Okay. Yeah, okay, I got it.
ठीक है, तो since they're equal, so the statement P of 1 is true. Now we're going to assume that the statement P of K is true. So that will be a given. So what is, I just want to know that, make sure that you understand what P of K means. So what is P of K?
K square plus K over 2.
Acha, that's part of the statement. Thank you. That's part of it. The P of K is a statement. अब मैं इधर से इस तरफ लिख रही हूँ साथ. So P of K is this statement. The sum of the first K natural numbers equals K into K plus 1 divided by 2. और mathematically this means, मतलब अगर आप इसको इस तरह लिख लें, sigma I equals 1 to K, which equals 1 plus 2 plus K equals, ये लेफ्ट हैंड साइड है पूरा, ये लेफ्ट हैंड साइड है. मैंने सिग्मा नोटेशन इसलिए लिखी है क्योंकि इट्स वेरी कम्पैक्ट. अगर लिखना हो तो आप इस तरह लिख सकते हैं, ना लिखना हो तो आप यू डोंट नीड टू रियली. ठीक है, इक्वल्स K into K plus 1 divided by 2. ठीक है, so this is, अब हमने ये डिसाइड कर लिया कि this holds true. अब what do we need to show? That given P of K holds true, P of K plus 1 is also true. तो अभी हम इस assumption के साथ चलेंगे कि this is true. अब हमारे पास क्या है, और what is P of K plus 1? So this P of K plus 1 is this statement. Mathematically अगर इसको लिखें, 1 plus 2 plus K plus K plus 1, मतलब up till K plus 1 अब हम जा रहे हैं, equals right hand side पे क्या होगा, और we have to check that this holds. Equals क्या, K plus 1 into K plus 2 divided by 2. How do you check this? मतलब अब आप चेक तो जैसे भी करें, लेकिन इसको थोड़ी सी अगर लेफ्ट हैंड साइड से शुरू करें हम, तो आपको पता है बाय assumption हमने इसका सम तो कह दिया है, it's equal to, what is the sum of the first K natural numbers? The sum of the first K natural numbers is just K into K plus 1, and this is by assumption. This is by assumption. ये जो assumption हमने इधर ऊपर ली है इधर, right here. तो इस part को हम replace कर सकते हैं इस expression से, and then you continue with the rest of the left hand side, which is the K plus first natural number, K plus 1 ही है. अब इसको आप algebraically manipulate करें, बस add करना दोनों terms को, तो you have K into K plus 1 plus 2 times K plus 1 divided by 2. And if you take K plus 1 common, K plus 1 times K plus 2 divided by 2, which is the right hand side. So you have shown that this actually holds true. The question mark मतलब अब वो खत्म हो गया. So using the assumption, or based on the assumption that the sum of the first K natural numbers equals this part, you arrived at the conclusion that the sum of the first K plus 1 natural numbers equals this, K plus 1 into K plus 2 divided by 2. So both conditions of the principle of mathematical induction hold true, and you can say that the statement P of n holds true for all natural numbers. जो भी value आप दें natural number n की, P of n will be true. तो ये हमने पहले भी show कर दिया था arithmetic sequence से कि the sum of the first n natural numbers equals n into n plus 1 divided by 2. अब ये हमने एक second method देख लिया, principle of mathematical induction, जिससे वो statement prove हो जाती है. Now, I don't have time to go through another example with you. आपकी section 12.5 में हैं और examples, आप वो पढ़ लीजिएगा. The reason why the principle of mathematical induction works is that इसमें ना एक rolling basically वो होती है. The rationale is basically that you have a base case, and that base case is for n equals 1 in part A of this principle. You know that the statement is true for n equals 1. And then from part B, or the second condition of the principle, you know that for any natural number, if the statement is true for that natural number, it will also hold true for the natural number that comes after it. So if the statement is true for k, the statement will always be also true for k plus 1. तो ये एक रोलिंग सा मैकेनिज्म है. अब आपको पता है 1 के लिए ट्रू है, फ्रॉम पार्ट बी आपको पता है कि 2 के लिए भी ट्रू होगा, एंड देन अगर 2 के लिए ट्रू है, you also know that it's true for 3, and so on and so forth. So that's why this principle works. Do you have any questions?
मीन्स ये जो नीचे सर्कल था रेड सर्कल में, ये किस तरह आया नीचे जो था k plus 1 और फिर मल्टीप्लाई k plus 2 over 2, तो ये हमने पहले किस तरह आया था, ये उसी फॉर्मूला से आया जो ऊपर था.
ये स्टेटमेंट है. This is the statement. Okay, the sum of the first k plus 1 numbers equals k plus 1 into k plus 1 plus 1 divided by 2. तो इस स्टेटमेंट को मैंने बस मैथमेटिकल फॉर्म में लिखा है जी. Is this clear?
Yeah, this is clear.
Okay, good. और एक और interesting चीज I was hoping somebody would ask me, लेकिन नहीं पूछा, कोई बात नहीं, वो मैं आपको खुद ही जिक्र कर देती हूँ. Somebody in the other class asked me, what happens if we were to take some other number here in the base case? P of 1 की जगह अगर हम P of some other से P of 15 ले लें बेस केस के लिए, उसमें ये होगा, बिकॉज ऑफ कंडीशन बी हमें ये पता है कि अगर एक नंबर के लिए ट्रू है तो अगले नंबर के लिए भी ट्रू होगा, नो मैटर व्हाट द नंबर, राइट? तो अगर आपका बेस केस 15 से शुरू हो रहा है तो इसका मतलब है कि द प्रिंसिपल विल देन प्रूव द स्टेटमेंट फॉर ऑल नेचुरल नंबर्स 15 एंड ऑनवर्ड्स, क्योंकि आपका बेस केस 15 से शुरू हो रहा है. फिर 15 हुआ, 15 ट्रू है तो इसका मतलब है 16 भी ट्रू है, 16 ट्रू है तो इसका मतलब है 17 भी ट्रू है, 17 के लिए भी ट्रू है, 17 के लिए ट्रू है तो इसका मतलब है द स्टेटमेंट इज आल्सो ट्रू फॉर 18, and so on and so forth. So that was just an observation. और आप लोग मुझे अब बताएं कोई questions हैं, क्योंकि we're 5 minutes over time. मैं I'll stay around for another couple of minutes. आप लोग सवाल पूछ लें.
Miss, if P of K हम assume कर रहे हैं कि वो true है, तो P of K plus N automatically true नहीं होना चाहिए?
P of K plus क्या चीज?
If you're assuming P of K is true, तो P of K plus N automatically true नहीं होना चाहिए? K
P
plus
of K,
1.
K plus 1, no, it's not always automatically true. That's the part that you actually have to show. So here we were able to show that part because वैसे तो ये statement true है ही, और हमने arithmetic sequences से देख भी लिया था. So this is a statement, this is a true statement that we were proving to be true. मतलब अगर हमें पता नहीं है कि true है कि नहीं, तो this part you'd have to show. हमने अभी इधर भी show किया. I mean, there's no way you can say that this if P of K is true, then P of K plus 1 will also hold automatically. It's a step that you have to show You have to go through the proof of that. And here we used the assumption we had made. P of k equals P of k holds. So P of k chunke hold karta hai, so that's why we can replace this sum 1 plus 2 all the way up till k by this expression here, k into k plus 1 divided by 2. It's because we had made this assumption. And because you had that part, when you added k plus 1 to that expression, you got k plus 1 into k plus 2 divided by 2. So it was something that you had to verify. ये इस तरह होना नहीं था वैसे. मतलब it's not necessary for this to be true.
Okay.
आप लोग for practice, वैसे तो आपकी बुक में एग्जांपल्स हैं, आप ये वाले ट्राई कर लें exercise for practice. Show that the sum of the first n odd numbers is n squared. ये इसी से प्रिंसिपल मैथमेटिकल इंडक्शन से प्रूव करें. फिर एक और एक एग्जांपल आपकी बुक के बिल्कुल शुरू में है. It's something, ये आपके पास वायर है, something like this. I'm not, वो बुक मेरे पास इस वक्त फौरन है नहीं. So there's a wire cutting, मतलब ये एक वायर है और you also have a straight thread या wire that cuts it into pieces. और आपके पास depending on the number of these transverse or horizontal wires, आपके number of pieces आते हैं. तो इसका answer जो आता है, it's अगर n denotes the number of transverse so the number of pieces of the green wire, it depends on n, and you can use the principle of mathematical induction to show कि वो कितने. मैं आपको exact, give me half a minute, I'll be back. मैं आपको ना exact वो सवाल देख के बता देती हूँ. अच्छा, this was the question. तो आप ये ले इसको वायर, इस वायर को लें और अब आपने इसको कट करना है अक्रॉस. तो अब मुझे कोई देख के बता सकते हैं कितने पीसेस हैं? किसने सवाल पूछा था मुझसे? अच्छा, so if you're not around, मैं ये आपको for as an exercise दे देती हूँ. आप लोग इधर हैं कि मैं खामखा बोल रही हूँ?
Yes, miss, we are here.
Okay, so Can you see why this is the number of pieces that the black wire is cut into? अगर आपके पास एक वायर हो, ये जो हॉरिजॉन्टल वायर है ब्लू वाला, तो नंबर ऑफ पीसेस कितने हैं ब्लैक वायर के?
Um,
1 1 2 3 4। अगर आपके पास 2 वायर्स हैं तो आपके पास क्या हो जाता है? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7। तो पहले 4 थी, तो 3 into 1 plus 1 is 4, 3 into 2 plus 1 is 7, and so on and so forth. तो पहले आप खुद से ट्राई करके दे सकते हैं, and then when you get a sense you can use the principle of mathematical induction to show this is true. ये आप ट्राई कर सकते हैं। ऑब्वियसली इसमें थोड़ी सी रीजनिंग, आपको अलजेब्रिक मैनिपुलेशन से ज्यादा ज्योमेट्रिक रीजनिंग करनी पड़ेगी। ये जो स्टेप हम इधर कर रहे हैं, here, this will not involve algebraic manipulation. It will involve something that uses geometric मतलब reasoning, क्योंकि आप वायर को कट कर रहे हैं into pieces। तो और भी एग्जांपल्स काफी सारी आ जाती हैं। बाइनोमियल, अच्छा, सेक्शन 12.6 जो कि मैं अब करा नहीं सकती आपको, पता नहीं मिस आयशा कराएंगी कि नहीं। बाइनोमियल थ्योरम मैंने अपनी क्लास को कराया था और स्प्रिंग में करा रही होंगी इंशाल्लाह। ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट थ्योरम है, a plus b to the power n की एक्सपेंशन, और इसकी एक्सपेंशन जो है समथिंग ऑफ दिस फॉर्म, n choose r and this is a b, this is r varies from 0 to n, and this becomes n minus r and this is r। इस तरह से होती है इसकी एक्सपेंशन। इसकी proof is done, ये section 12.6 में इसलिए is by the principle of mathematical induction, जो कि 12.5 में आती है। ठीक है, so ये आप लोग देख लेना। Sorry I've taken an extra 15 minutes, तो ये आप लोगों की बस अंडरस्टैंडिंग के लिए। तो फिर इंशाल्लाह होपफुली let's see what happens, मिस आयशा कब आती हैं वापस और कैसे करती हैं। तो if you have questions, शोएब भाई अवेलेबल है, मैं अवेलेबल हूँ, you can send me an email, और मिस आयशा भी, everyone else, all your TS। तो चलें फिर, ओके, अल्लाह हाफिज। अगर क्वेश्चन है तो पूछ लेंगे।
Allah Hafiz, miss.
अल्लाह हाफिज।